What's up, everybody? Smooth Cosplayer here, your favorite salsa dancing cosplayer. Tonight, we're doing something a little different. The first of a new series I'm doing called Boomerang, where I'm bringing back some of my favorite guests back on the channel. So first up, I have with me the lovely Joe Colton Cosplay. How are you, dear?
I am good. It is wonderful to see you.
Same to you, girl. It's been, what, 2.5 years-ish?
I miss you.
I miss you, girl.
I was so close to you last year, like with Dragon Con, but you didn't come. I was like, it's like you're one of my favorite people to see and hang out with down there. So, like, now, like, we're getting busier and stuff, but still, like, every time I get to see you, like, at least, like, hang out and catch up, and then, like, then we run away again. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I had decided. Was that?
I said we meet.
Yes.
We hug,
and then
we catch up, and then we like leave again.
Rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I decided way too early that I wasn't coming, and then after the fact, because see, I'm the kind of person I gotta plan stuff ahead of time. I don't do anything big last minute, so I need to decide like in January, February, if I am or am not going.
Okay.
So I had already
going this year.
Yes, it's happening. F that. But
Okay.
so I decided early I wasn't going. So I thought I wasn't doing any cons, right? Then all of a sudden, BlurredCon decides they're going to have it be vaccinations only. I'm like, had I known that, I'd have come. Because I sure as heck had FOMO sitting at home watching everybody.
Costumes. You could have just like grabbed a couple and went.
True. Well, the Dragon Con, yes.
Yeah.
BlurredCon, not so much, because that involves travel too. I almost went. You know, I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can just drive through. Maybe like I was this close to like just rolling through the what you call it, like the lobby at the Hyatt, things like that.
Yeah.
But the thing that I wasn't sure of was I wasn't sure how hard people were checking for badges at the door.
In the daytime, not so much, but in the evening.
Okay. Yeah. I just didn't want to run the risk of getting there and then I can't even get in the door. Like I knew certain areas that we normally can't get into without badges, but I was like, the way things are going, I can't guarantee that they're so that's why I was like, you know what? Let me just not even go close to it because I'm gonna be. So I distracted myself.
Oh.
That day. Okay. For those of y'all at home, I'm not stripping. But I got this that day. So that's a distraction.
Pain.
This is So this is Naya. That's me. Fire and ice.
Yeah.
She's the extrovert. I'm the introvert. She likes it warm. I like it cold. I would stay inside all day if I could. She would be outside all day if she could. She's not temperamental or bipolar or nothing, but she's the one that's up and down. I'm more like
even.
So we've always balanced each other out. That's how that happened.
Yeah, that's how I feel because I'm the one who's like the extrovert and like always like and my husband's like really like he's like the one with the anxiety. And then he's like,
why are you so?
He's the loud one because he's like, when he's comfortable, he's like excited and rambunctious. Before I met him, I was like, oh, he's so like polite and professional and like very like calm and quiet. And then I met him and I was like, oh, you're like a goofball.
That's exactly how me and her are. Like so when she was at Dragon Con and then she came with me earlier that year to Pensacon in Pensacola. If you were to meet us at the cons, you think I'm the extrovert. Any other time, she's the extrovert and I'm the introvert.
Really?
Again, it's because
I know you as an extrovert.
See, because I'm in my element. I'm comfortable around people. I play an extrovert on TV. I just happen to have extroverted hobbies. Same thing with salsa. People assume that because I like dancing, that I like being the center of attention, that I like.
That's not necessarily true.
And I teach. Right, exactly. I'm not. So here's the thing. Back when I used to teach at a club on Friday nights, every Friday night, right? And I'm not that teacher that's like rubbing elbows with the crowd and like meeting people before the class starts. I'm in the back hiding in the DJ booth because I don't want my social battery to run out during class.
Okay.
I need to be on full, right?
Yeah.
Before I.
Yeah, I didn't understand that before Wes. Like Wes will like if we have people over, all of a sudden he'll be gone.
Yeah.
And he'll text me, I just need a minute. Like I need.
There you go. There it is.
I never had heard of like I'm out of spoons. I need downtime. I'm all full of people. Like I've never. I don't relate to that. But now I'm like, oh my god.
I get it.
And he's like, no, I just need a minute. Like there's a lot of people, and I was like, there's like 8 people. He's like, I can't.
Yeah, even that much.
I'm running out of gas.
Yeah, there's this meme of Michael B. Jordan. I think he's at a basketball game or something. So there's one picture of him. He's got a smile on his face and everything. And the very next picture, he's kind of like, and the caption is, when your social battery runs out when you're out and about, or something to that effect. There's another one of it's a video of Jay-Z. What was his guy's name? Memphis Bleak and Damon Dash, and everybody else around. Now this is like early 2000s. You know, all the guys are wearing the jerseys and the wave caps and the big tall tees and everything. Everybody else is all hype. Yeah. I want to give a shout out to blah blah blah. And Jay-Z's just kind of like. It's like you can tell that either he's mad about something or his social battery ran out.
So at con, like at Dragon Con, like it'll be Maggie and I running around. Wes will meet up with us. Tyler will meet up with us. That's her boyfriend. And then they'll like walk around, or like Tyler will have to go eat like a normal person and sit down and be calm. And we're like, I've done 4 shoots, we've changed 3 times, we've eaten lunch, we've met people, gone down to Brian Humphrey's booth, and Wes is like, I'm gonna go into my second costume now. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'd like to have dinner. And I'm like, oh, that's a different speed where so we like this year though he was good. He had like his own shoots. For the last 2 years he's had his own shoots, but we've had like couples costumes now where like he has to like be at my pace a little bit. But then still like he's like,
just calm down.
Just calm. And I'm like, what? Yeah, he's like, there's too many people. Why don't we just like have a minute?
There is no minute. Not with me. He sounds like me though, because like
charge him though. Like I give him hugs.
Yes. Like let me just a little bit more.
My energy. Just take my energy.
Here's a high potion. Let's go. Yeah, like before I found you and the finest, I spent 2 years. Now, I say I was cosplaying 2 years, but really it was just 2 years of going to Dragon Con. I didn't know about anything else. So I go to the con solo. And so I don't have con friends yet. I'm just walking around through the whole crowd, just taking things in. I'm not attached to an entourage or a posse or anything. I'm just walking through, and everything was fine. But it was also fine.
That's all right.
It was also fine because I was Snake Eyes those first 2 times. So I have a mask on. So it wasn't until the 3rd Dragon Con I went to, when I finally had my face exposed, that I was like, people can't see me. And I realized how much was I
am not invisible anymore.
Right. Then I realized how much I enjoyed the anonymity, if I can say, if that's the right word, of having a mask on. Like I was like, just in case this costume bombs, which it didn't. It was an irrational fear. Just in case this costume bombs.
Yeah.
People they don't see me. They don't see Myra. They see Snake Eyes.
Right. Okay.
So, but I mean, I'm over that now.
No way like Snake Eyes is gonna bomb. Like
no. Yeah, I mean, it was
and,
just
like,
the first.
Fit, you got all the gear. Like the mannerisms very well. Like,
until one day I was like, you know what, forget this this being a character thing. Even as an introvert, even as someone who doesn't have a motor mouth, not talking all day is exhausting.
Oh yeah.
Like having to restrain myself, having to. Then I was like, you know what? If I'm going to ask people for pictures, I can't just be like, I'm not doing that all day. So my rule was, if I'm going to talk, I'm going to lift my visor up and pull my mask down. My face is visible. Now I'm the person again.
Right.
If I got it on, I'm not talking.
Okay.
But if I need to talk, I'm gonna talk. But I'm gonna take this off. And they say Snake Eyes doesn't talk. I do. That's my answer for any time. No one has said that to me yet. But that's my answer for any time somebody does that. Oh, such and such doesn't have tattoos. I do. Such and such doesn't have facial hair. I do. What you gonna do about it? Yo, so Joe, you are.
I dare somebody to come up to you and be like.
Right, I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting for the day. Seriously.
I had a person actually come up to me and tell me that I was too tall to be Deanna Troi, and I was like, "That's all right. I'm not trying to be her."
Who out here knows the exact heights of people?
I don't.
Like,
I'm sure there is the. There are particular people who know everything about the actors that they love.
Yeah. See, the thing is, there's characters I know the heights of, but I know that it's ridiculous to expect that from anybody cosplaying them.
Right.
Starfire is like what, 6'4"?
Yeah.
How many Starfires have you seen even above 6, let alone 6'4"?
I haven't seen one above 6 yet.
Right. How many? Wolverine's 5'3", right?
I know of 2.
You know of 2.
Yeah.
You know of 2 that are below 6, but 5'3" though.
I don't know how tall Kevin St. Pierre is. He's a short guy.
He's close to it. I don't think he's 5'3", but he's close to it. He's about as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah. Jonathan Carroll, definitely not a 5'3". He's also like
jacked. Right. So I'm just like, yes, I know useless information about a lot of characters,
right?
But I'm not gonna hold anybody to that. Like, that's really ridiculous. You also don't
go around like knowing the height of like Hugh Jackman and like the actual actors.
Right. People are ridiculous.
They are sometimes.
So, question for you. So you are, I believe you're living the quote unquote dream when it comes to like couples. Like, a lot of geeks and cosplayers would love to like you're a geek and a nerd and you're a cosplayer, and you have a husband that is those things as well.
Yes.
How has that been for you? Because a lot of, I mean, I know y'all are happy,
but you should ask him that. So I'll tell you how it was for me. It's fine. Like, it was like normal. Like, of course he's gonna be a nerd. Of course I'm gonna marry a geek and a cosplayer. I think for him, because I'm a cosplayer, a toy collector, a book collector, autographs collector, statues collector, also clothes, shoes, purses, like
you're just a collector. You a collector,
just to collect
pretty much.
Makeup, like
all the things.
And comic books. So when I lived in my apartment, after I bought the house, I had to move out. I had a closet that was probably like 25, 30 feet long, and it was one of those like they had like double doors that opened up into the closet. It was a whole wall. Behind my clothes, I had stacks of long boxes, and then at the end there was like a bump in. I would have toys, and then toys under the bed, and then toys in another closet that was meant for coats. I took out that rack and then piled it up full. Like I even pushed the box up and slid other boxes in full to the ceiling of toys.
And then if you push the wall just right, like the wall moves up.
And then like I have a back page. He was like, I don't understand where the closet of Narnia goes to. Like, we bought a 2,700 square foot house. 90% of it is my place because of all the stuff I had. Wow. I lived in an 884 square foot apartment, and I filled a house.
That just tells me that you in your apartment had access to like the subspace stuff that the Transformers have. You know how to always pull the weapons out of nowhere. Optimus Prime's trailer just goes somewhere that we don't know where.
Right. Yeah. So the Narnia. So he is not a toy collector. He likes collecting whatever figure, not a figure, pops of whatever costume he does. That's it. That's his extent, right? Me, complete opposite. We're running out of house. So.
Wow. Well, that gives me hope because you see, Narnia allows me to. Okay, I don't want to say allow because there's always that.
Nah. She's all saying, good with it.
Right. To y'all at home, I don't say allow in the sense of, oh, I got permission.
Right.
She respects that I have this. She respects that I have that hobby. I got decent collection. I've seen much worse. But so she's like, hey, the first thing she said to me was, I'm cool with it, but it got to look neat. I'm like, I got no problem with that because
that's great.
I want it neat too, and I don't want the kids to get into it, and I don't want random guests coming in because that was a problem I had when I had roommates. They would, my roommates were fine. My roommates' friends, we shared friends. We had the same set of friends. They would come over, right? So I'd come home and this figure is half transformed because they got a certain distance and couldn't finish. This one over here is posed differently than I left it. This one over here, if you don't pose it a certain way, it doesn't stand up, and now it's laying down. I'm like, look, no. Y'all don't, no.
You can't touch.
This stays in my room now.
You see with your eyes, not your hands. Don't you remember that when you were growing up? Like...
Y'all ain't got no home training.
I had gone to Egypt years and years ago and saved up and got 4 Canopic jars, which are like, do you know what those are? They're like the jars that you open up and have the pharaoh's pieces of his body in it. Okay. And like, like the Mummy movie where like there's that box and then you get the Canopic jars and each one of those hunters had it, or treasure hunters, and like they were cursed. So I have one of those sets, and it's made of jade, and I saved up for it, and had a party. And somebody, like, I don't know, it was accidental, I know that, but it was just like another example to me of why do you have things out to enjoy them? They have to be behind glass because then at least the glass will break. Well, he accidentally knocked it off the bookcase, and the beak has snapped off, and we have yet to find it. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I cried, I screamed, I was upset, but I was like, nope, ever again. And so Wes was like, babe, you gotta put it behind a glass. And you can see it's like over here. Like they're in a corner in the glass so nobody can touch them.
And sometimes even that don't work. I remember
open things. Why are you opening shit?
What? Exactly. Like, so I think this is before I met Naya. Yeah, because I still in my bachelor days. So I had some. Now they were probably Walmart or Target or something, but I had some wine glasses that I would have just in case. Got company, date night, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're having like, I don't know if it was a house party or a movie night or a game night that we had. So there's a female friend of me and my roommates. So she took it upon herself to went through the cabinet. It was a cabinet that was just like out of. It wasn't the first thing you'd think to go into.
Okay.
So many other cups and glasses to pick from. She went for the stuff that I only have for dates and pulled that out. and poured her drink. She gave me a look, but I made her pour it into another cup and I washed it out and put it back. Because I was like, why?
I totally agree with that, because you spend money, you work for your money. It doesn't matter if you got it from Walmart or fucking William Sonoma. Sorry, I don't mean to swear.
Hey, no. I gave up on that long time ago. I'm like, I'm gonna just let people be
just
them.
say things.
Yes.
I'm a potty mouth. But like you like, I don't care if you like spent $20 or $120. You worked for that $20.
Yes.
And when things like people carry or like don't take care of things the way that I take care of them, even though they're mine. If I break it, it's fine, because then I can just do it myself.
Exactly.
But there is no need that you take it upon yourself to get something that is not where you are allowed to. Like, this is the parameter. You don't need to go outside the parameter and grab hold of things that other people worked hard for to get. Doesn't matter how much it costs.
It doesn't. And that's why I keep an eye out for when I go to somebody else's place. If I go to your house, if I see random discs of anything just sitting on the coffee table, sitting on the counter next to your TV, I don't care that it's face down to where the part that can get scratched is face up. No, if I see that doing borrowing from me, I keep my discs, PlayStation games, DVDs.
Yes, the discs. Yes.
Right. I keep them in their case, in the correct case. It's either in the case or it's in the system.
Yeah.
One of the two.
It's not lying around. Yeah.
No, I don't do skipping things at all.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I
hear you. Wes is the same way, because he works hard for his money. He doesn't make as much as I do. So when he buys something, it has to be taken care of, because there's no room to like replace whatever. Like, you can't just go out and buy another PlayStation. You can't go out and buy XYZ game. So.
Oh, speaking of which, I don't think I ever asked you this, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do, like, for your 9 to 5 or your make a living?
I'm a consultant.
You're a consultant. I have a friend who has to kind of keep that same little profile, and let's just say there's a situation. The only bit of cosplay drama I've ever been involved in. Well, no. Well,
no, you were involved in something lately.
We were. I was in the group that had the drama. I was not wrapped up in it, but
right.
Yes, right. Because I remember last time we did an interview, they were bugging you about that while you were at work and complaining that you weren't acting fast enough. I'm like, y'all, this chick is at work doing what she do, earning money. Y'all asking her about something that does not make her money.
Right.
Anyway, so this bit of cosplay drama I got pulled into by 2 mutual friends, one of which is not anymore.
Okay.
And I'm trying to decide how much of this I want to say. But basically, the other person just does not know how to let things go.
Okay.
And has now tried to take my still friend to court over it.
Oh.
And it's all over some bullshit. Other than that, like, I've been able to I'm dodging cosplay drama like the Matrix, for real. Like,
oh yeah.
And it's crazy how I've done that across 2 different hobbies. Like, the same effing thing happens in the salsa world. Like,
really?
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely. Like, this, if you on this dance team, these people on this dance team don't like you, and you're not supposed to be able to dance with these folks. Egos get involved, just like
okay, I can understand that.
Just like with cosplay, you got the actual cosplay celebrities who are super cool, but then you got the ones who want to be it, and you got the ones who think they are, and they act nasty to the people who don't have as many followers as they do. That same stuff happens in salsa. Like, I'm asking some of the salsa celebs to dance, and they're like, "Oh yes." I'm like, "You said yes to me?" Meanwhile, you got homegirl over here who performed the night before, but she thinks she's hot stuff, and she just kind of, nah. And you can say yes or no to whoever you want to. I'm not, saying that.
But it's the tone.
Yes, exactly. The tone of it. Oh, I think I'm hot stuff. I'm only gonna dance with the people on my team.
Yeah.
And then you finally do dance with one of them. You find out that they're good performers, but they're not good social dancers. They don't follow or they don't lead well. That mess happens. So yeah, being able to dodge all of that stuff in the salsa world too, and it just makes you realize every hobby that you could get into has the same mess.
Yes, they do. I have I don't know if I dodge it so much as I think it's BS, so I just kind of ignore it, and then I make fun of it.
Yeah.
So, years ago, one of our mutual friends had decided to wanted to do a costume, and it was going to be a cute little thing, and we got roasted by other women for it. These are Cobra bunnies. And yeah, so I was so I found out that they were making fun of us. So I just trolled the trolls. I just was in really super nice, really hi, but all in my bunny suit. I'm
wow. You know that
I'm gonna make you as uncomfortable as possible just to show you how stupid you are.
That hurt my heart a little bit, knowing that was going on, because I saw y'all in the bunny suits. Yeah. I had no problem with it.
We were covered head to toes. We even had black slacks on.
Yeah. And while we're at the actual shoot the next day, the whole G.I. Joe shoot, I start kind of hearing rumblings about it, and as I'm hearing why people had a problem with it, I was like, I don't have that problem with it. I can understand that argument. I get it. I was just like, I'm gonna stay right in the middle of this. I mean, not be in the middle, but stay neutral.
Yeah. I'm neutral.
I support folks to dress like that. I understand why some might be upset, but then when it came to
the bullying,
just the drama about it, I was just like, why? And I was like, I like both people. I like the people on both sides of this. Why y'all gotta be beefing like this?
Also, wasn't beefing. Didn't care. That's your opinion. If you don't like it, I'm not telling you to put that shit on.
Right.
You don't have to wear it. You don't like it? That's all on you.
You ain't got to do it. Yeah.
There is no pressure for you, sweetheart, to put it on. You can wear a sack. I don't care. Put a bag over your head. Still don't care.
Wow.
Makes you happy? You do you. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not killing anybody. I ain't making fun of anybody, and I'm not bullying anybody. I thought it was hilarious that the photographers around who heard all of the bullying were like, "Hey, ladies, why don't you all just go up there?" I was like, I don't understand why, but okay. So we all went up there, and then after, one of the old time photographers pulled me aside and said, "You did that specifically because you guys all work hard, and you always bring people together, and to have people trying to bully you and going person to person trying to not get you ousted, but just bullying, making fun of you and having people talk shit about you was uncalled for, and that's not what we're like at DragonCon." So
this is true.
One of them actually requested a meeting with me on Monday morning to discuss my my public perception and how people will perceive me if I act accordingly as I was in that suit. I was like, oh, I didn't know I needed another mother. Should I get back into the womb and come out of your vagina at 8 a.m. in the morning on a Monday after I had drinks? Sure, we could do this all day.
Something tells me folks don't want to see that version.
Probably not.
No.
Maggie thought it was inappropriate at best. So when we went down there in the lobby of a hotel, I was very polite until the authoritative voice came out at me, and you shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't do that, and I expect better of you. I'm like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I am just having my coffee. I did not grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. We're about to see how much I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. The conversation was over in 10 minutes.
Wow. Dang.
I let her speak, and then I spoke, and it was my turn.
How's everything been since then? Has it kind of died down?
I've seen both individuals of the main. The one is quite nice to me. The other one is civil. But yeah. Okay. The men are always great. I get along better with guys anyway, so I don't have many girlfriends.
It be like that sometimes.
Yeah. Everybody's been pretty good. Even like the spouse of the main girl who like needed to give me a rap. Yeah, still talk. When we see each other, we're very polite. I am still overly polite to her.
On purpose.
Yes. It's one of those things like, I don't have to be rude to you. You're insignificant.
Wow. You know, you just reminded me of you never gotten into like watching MMA at all, have you? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you remember Ronda Rousey, right?
Yeah.
So I remember the season of The Ultimate Fighter that she was on.
Okay.
It was her versus Miesha Tate, I believe. And,
okay.
And of course, they always, if at all possible, they put two people together who don't like each other.
Right.
So they've had beef. You know, Miesha has never beat Ronda. Ronda's the one who took the title from Miesha. And
right.
So while they're there, Miesha is always the one like being professional. You know, she's being cordial with Ronda. Ronda is always having this big scowl on her face, and like she's the person who she's the kind of person who feels like if I'm cordial to you and I don't like you, I'm being fake, which is not the case. So she's the kind of person who if I don't like you, I am going to make sure you know I don't like you.
Right.
I'm like, it ain't gotta be like that. Like she
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So that individual just stands there, and I'll say hello, and the response back is,
oh, that smile. Wow.
You can calm down, Karen. I'm not gonna make your life a living hell. I'm just gonna make you see how happy I am, and that will probably torture you on the inside. And then you're gonna be like, that bitch. Look at her eating that cracker.
Yes. Wow.
See, 25-year-old Joe would have been like, what is your deal? Over 35-year-old Joe's like, oh, hon, I'm going to live in your head rent-free. That's the best gift I can give you. Show you that I have a wonderful life and live in your head rent-free.
Wow. So, how about them Washington Commanders?
Oh my God, no! That's awful.
Did you see the Cobra Commander memes earlier though?
Yes, it was sent to me like 17 times yesterday. I was like, I hate it. Hates it. I have a feeling, I was talking with Wes about this. He was like, I bet you they're going to do like a colonial guy, like a colonial commander. And I was like, that's worse.
That's worse. Like, yes.
Why? He's like, how's that worse? I was like, because at least the Redskins had character. This is now feisty.
You literally have the colonizer on your uniform. I hope they don't. But,
so I said to him, you know what would be good is if they had like an African American as the commander. And he was like, they wouldn't do that. And I was like, they wouldn't. No, they could.
They could. Like, they won't.
This is your Canadian coming out. They're not going to do that. I was like, they could have, like, we got the Wizards, we got the Caps, we got United, like DC United, the soccer team. Like, you couldn't figure something else out. Like, I don't know, the melting pot, something. Like, do it after a bird, the Cardinal. Like, I don't know, the Senators. You could have had the Washington Senators.
Yeah. There's a couple of other names out there. I think there was one that I thought I liked better than the Commanders. Actually, let me look, because
Did you like Commanders? Don't tell me you like Commanders.
I feel like there was another name out there.
Okay.
I gotta look back in my text history with my dad-in-law, because he's a Washington fan. So we were kind of going back and forth about it.
Baltimore Ravens. They could have picked the opposite of the Raven. I don't know, like the Snowy White Owls or the Barnyard Owl. I don't know, something.
It was the so they got down to 6 names. It was Commanders, the Commanders, Armada, Admirals, Red Hogs, Presidents, and Sentinels.
The Red Hogs?
Red Hogs.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I like the Armada.
The Armada would have been great.
Yeah, Washington Armada. That would have been fine. Now the X-Men fan in me heard Sentinels, like, all right, Senator Kelly, let's go.
Yeah, right.
Henry Garrick and all of them.
I don't know about Sentinels. That gives way to very political conversations.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm hoping my Braves decide to finally like get on board, because on one hand I'm torn, loving the fact that they finally won the World Series again. Like the only championships we have, the 2 of theirs, because there was one this past year, there was one in '95, and then Atlanta United won one. And shout out to all of y'all at home that think that MLS doesn't count. They sell out Mercedes-Benz Stadium more than the Falcons do, so I don't want to hear nothing about.
Do they really?
Yeah. Or at least, I don't know about recently, but when they first got in, like the first 2 seasons, yeah. Okay. And they won the championship their second year.
What?
Yeah. So this was like just a couple of years ago.
People were jonesing for it, like they were jonesing for that team.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Because, even though I am an American football fan, I do acknowledge that soccer is the real football.
Yeah.
And it may not be as important over here, but it's important everywhere.
Yeah. Everywhere. Yeah, when it's the FIFA Cup, like, I'm like, don't talk to me. Or the Olympics, like, don't.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of DC, it made my little geeky heart smile to see you on the Ego podcast last year.
I love those guys. Like,
I was like, my friends are friends with my friends. Yes.
Those guys are so amazing. Like,
hilarious.
I knew Sam. I met Sam through Wes, and I met Alex Thomas through Sam. No, I met him by himself, but then him and Sam got together, and they were doing shoots at different cons. And then Griffin Studios, I've always been like, so good. I never shoot with him. But he's so nice and such a big team. Like, I'm like, what? I love those guys. And Cece's awesome. Like, I love her. She is gorgeous and super smart and really nerdy and like just a queen.
Yes. Shout out to everybody at the Ego podcast. I'm trying to remember if I met Cece or Sam first. No, I think I met Sam first, but I think I'm a little bit closer to Cece than Sam, but not by much. And then of course I met the other 2. I met Alex and Rio through the podcast. Rio's the only person I haven't interviewed yet, so I got. Let me see. I got Cece. She was the person I interviewed right before you.
Okay.
That summer, and then of course didn't. That very next year, I don't do any in-person interviews because COVID and all that BS. Right. So got Sam about a little bit over a year ago. Then Alex a couple of months ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I hope not to let another year go by before I interview Rio, because basically everybody's a year apart.
So if you want to bug Rio, tell him about how much I think Spider-Man is old Spider-Man, not Tom Holland, whiny little bitch. Just...
I remember that. Yes, I remember you saying.
I thought he was gonna.
That cry face.
Yeah, I was like, I hurt his feelings. I'm like, didn't you know I don't like? Not that I don't like Spider-Man. I'm just like not a fan. Like, there's so many better characters in my.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, what? You don't.
What?
What? Spider-Man. I'm like, it's all right, boy.
I mean, he's alright. I like Venom better. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm meh on Tom Hardy's Venom. He was better than Topher Grace.
Yeah, well.
That, oh my God, bro.
Anybody could be better than that. I could be better than that.
I didn't realize who he was until I saw him in Predators.
You didn't know who Toby was?
No, not Toby. Topher Grace.
Pardon. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there was the movie Predators that had Adrian Brody in there, Mahershala Ali before I realized who he was, Danny Trejo's in there, the guy from Justified is in there. He
oh yeah.
I forgot I don't remember his name, but he was a guy who in G.I. Joe Retaliation had he had captured who he thought was Snake Eyes, but it was Storm Shadow. I guess the prison warden in that movie. That's the same guy.
Oh, okay.
And then the woman who I like her as an actress, but I hate the fact that she played Cecilia Reyes in the New Mutants movie. Did you ever? Okay, you ain't missing much. Because they basically whitewashed both Cecilia Reyes, because in the comics she's an Afro-Latina Puerto Rican woman, but she's as brown as me with cornrows.
Okay.
And they gave it to someone who's lighter than me but slightly darker than you.
Okay. Well, I've got a huge light than him, so.
I'm like, that don't add up. And then Sunspot is Afro-Brazilian. His origin story is the fact that he's playing soccer and the white Brazilian soccer players jump him because he's darker. And for them to cast someone who is not dark at all, I mean, he's got a little bit of a tan. That's it.
Is he African American at all, or is he light skinned?
He very light skinned. He's
fair.
Yeah, he's fair. Whereas Sunspot in the comics he's Afro-Brazilian. He looks like
he's like an Amazon, an African Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen Encanto?
Yeah.
So he would look more like Antonio.
Oh yeah, okay. That's who I was picturing that. Like that's the skin tone that.
Yeah. I mean, it was an alright movie, but like that was just like, look, come on, y'all.
You can't find an actor that can fit that.
Ileana was good. She killed that role. She pissed me off, but that just shows how good a job the actress did. Mm-hmm. Why did I even bring up New Mutants? Because the woman who played Cecilia Reyes was in Predators. I mentioned all these other Predators people as I'm talking about Topher Grace. Because basically the Predators, you know how they would do. They hunt for sport, right? Yeah. So this time they captured humans from Earth and brought them to some other planet to hunt them, like the baddest killers on the planet. And there's this one guy who's out of place. It's just this nerdy doctor who seems helpless, but he ends up being like one of the last 3 survivors, and he's one of the deadliest ones because he knows how to like do. So there's like a poisonous plant earlier And he stops one of the other guys from touching it. He's like, no, you don't want to do that. The other guy's like, okay, I'll look out for you while we're here. So what nobody sees is that he takes like a razor and cuts that plant, and he saves it. And later on he poisons the woman who played in the New Mutants movie. Oh. Poison. So like he's just as deadly as everybody else. He's just not as tough as everybody else. But when I found out, when I realized that this was the guy who played Venom, I was like, I hate you even more now. Not him. I don't hate him. I hate the fact that he was Venom.
Oh, okay. I didn't like his Venom.
No. It was horrible.
Not good at all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate Tom Hardy. I don't hate him I don't hate him, period. I also don't hate his Venom.
Okay.
I also don't know who I would want instead of him as Venom, though.
It's hard. Venom is hard. Carnage, I still haven't seen it, but from the scenes that I have seen, Woody Harrelson is okay. Like he does well with anything now. Like,
yeah. When I saw that he was Carnage, I was like, okay, I can get behind this.
Yeah, he's got that look, that crazy.
Yeah.
Look.
The end of the movie kind of felt lackluster to me because I was just like, so Venom, you didn't get any kind of power upgrade from the last movie. You're not, I mean, not that he should have, but like, y'all convinced me as to why Venom should have been able to beat Carnage by himself.
Oh.
When in the comics, it took Venom, Spider-Man, Human Torch, a sonic gun, and all that stuff to beat Carnage. But Venom by himself is supposed to be Carnage in the movie. It just didn't, like.
That's weird.
I liked it okay, but I was just like, whatever.
Maybe we'll see him in the multiverse.
They're hitting at it. Have you seen No Way Home yet?
Yeah. So I did appreciate it, even though I'm not a Spidey fan. Yeah. I wish they had gone to college together at the end.
Yeah.
That's a Spidey thing. Like he wouldn't tell her.
Yeah.
I'm like, she'll figure it out again. She told him she would. She's not dumb.
Yeah, and she still wore that little, I forget what it was, but it was something that he had given her while they were on the abroad field trip in the last movie. And she still has that around her neck, so she remembers something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Or she will.
Yeah. Well, maybe this opens the door for, Gwen to show up for us to get Black Cat finally. Why has, speaking of Black Cat, why has Death Battle not done Black Cat versus Catwoman?
I don't know.
That seems so obvious. Well, maybe that's why they didn't do it. It seems perfect to me. Yeah. I'm team Black Cat, but whatever.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Catwoman's my girl.
Yeah. Now I say that not having really read much of anything about either. I just have I don't know why I like Black Cat.
You have an affinity for Black Cat.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Look. Are you a Spidey fan?
I like him. I'm not invested in him. Like the X-Men are the only ones I'm really invested in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody else I respect it, but I'm not really
into.
I don't really pay attention to it. Would you believe, so when you last saw Naya in her storm, somebody mistook her for Black Cat?
What?
Yeah. And poor girl, she had no idea who Black Cat was. And somebody was just like, I happened to not be around. I think I had gone to the bathroom or something. And somebody was like, hey, are you Black Cat? And she's like, I don't even know who that is. Like, I get that we didn't mohawk her wig out. We couldn't figure it out. So we were like, hey, let's just go the way it is.
But still.
And I get that she has a choker on, but still, like, there's no white fur anywhere. She doesn't have sleeves.
No.
She doesn't have a mask on. She doesn't have claws.
I don't
People
know
would
how
just fixate on one little thing and run with it.
Choker did it.
Yeah, it's so crazy how you got the opposites. You got these people over here who will what's the word I'm looking for? Not misdiagnosed. It's not a disease. People who will
misidentify.
Yes, people who will misidentify your costume because they fixate on one thing.
Yeah.
But then there's other people who will not acknowledge your costume because the whole thing is fire, but you're missing that one little element that. Oh well, where's your blah blah blah? You're missing. I'm like, don't you think I know what's not here? I have intimate knowledge of I have intimate knowledge of my own costume. You think I don't already know?
I hate it.
So speaking of costume,
yes, I was gonna say I'm one of those people who's like extremely meticulous, but that's my sickness.
Right,
I don't need you adding to that. Like I already have like an inner monologue of all the stuff that's going wrong. I don't need you to come have a conversation with me while I'm having an inner monologue about what is wrong.
Whatever you're going to tell me, I already know.
Yeah, and am yelling at myself about it. So you could just continue.
Back the F up. Oh, that too. Yeah, that too. I was going to ask, speaking of costumes, what you got brewing? I know you got plenty.
So I'm actually sitting next to something I'm working on. So you're probably not going to understand what this is for.
I don't, but I'm intrigued.
It goes as a collar.
Ah. I still don't get it.
It's a couple's costume.
It's like, is it something that came out recently?
Probably, yes, around December. December 17th on Netflix.
Ooh, I feel like I should know this and I don't.
Really cold. Lots of magic.
Really cold and lots of magic. Come and tell me.
The Witcher. I'm doing season 2.
Okay. Yeah. Now it makes sense because that's about the only thing I can remember. Like I didn't get into it. Like I've seen. Is it Yennefer or Jennifer?
Yennefer.
Yeah. It's funny. My sound blanked out at the point that I needed to hear. I heard the Yennefer.
Yennefer.
Okay. That's what I thought it was, but I was like, sometimes it's the little bit of Spanish that I know was kicking in, even though I know it's not Spanish. I see Y's in the beginning. I'm like, is it a Y or is it a J? I don't know. But yeah, all I really know about Witcher is, yes, it's in cold weather, and I know what Yennefer looks like. And I know that Henry Cavill is in there, right?
Yeah.
That's all I know. That is the extent of my Witcher knowledge.
I feel like you would appreciate... I don't know. I think you would like it.
Okay.
I think you would like it.
How long are the seasons?
I think they're like 8 episodes each.
Hours?
There's only 2 episodes. I think it ranges like 48 to 52 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad people are going with that format of seasons.
Well, they have to write condensed stuff. Like this 22 episode seasons where they're fluffing everything.
Yeah. I think that's gotten me to the point where I can't do episodic TV anymore. I can't even.
I do Law and Order just because Mom sits and watches.
Yeah, I probably can, but the last time I tried to watch the original G.I. Joe, I didn't make it through the first episode because I'm so used to there being a point to everything. I'm so used to like a common plot thread going on. Mm-hmm. And I get why it's the way it is, because way back in the day, you couldn't count on people catching every episode. Right. So you couldn't do a continuous storyline. But now that you got on-demand access to everything, now you can do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I probably will watch it again at some point, but right then I was just like, I'm not there's no reason I'm doing this right now.
Right. Yeah, I don't, we try and binge watch stuff, but I'm also like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to I want to sit and be able to pay attention to things.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's COVID brain or I'm just exhausted. Where I just need to watch something to calm me down and just my brain just relaxes. So
yeah, there's certain things.
When I get to binge, I'll binge.
Yeah. Like if I I want to watch something while I'm folding clothes.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing that, it can't be something I need to pay attention to.
Right. Yep. It's gotta be something in the background that you've either seen 100 times or you just need white noise. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm working on a ton of stuff actually. I'm working. Did you watch Wheel of Time?
I have not. Amazon? I know what you're talking about, but
okay. So have you seen a trailer or have you seen pieces of it?
No, I haven't. I think I'm confusing that with there's that movie that had Oprah Winfrey in it. Something of Time.
Yes. I did a costume. I did the costume from Oprah. She was Mrs. Who. Yeah, I did it for DragonCon 1 year. It was a lot of makeup.
I bet.
I had to get rid of my eyebrows. Like drag queen style.
Yo, it's funny. I just looked up today.
Yeah.
How to cover up eyebrows.
Glue
because, so you know how I don't think it's out on TV yet, but Vegeta has this new form in Dragon Ball Super. I think he's got an Ultra Ego Vegeta or God of Destruction Vegeta. So his hair is purple now. Oh. But
Wes will be happy to hear this. He's a Vegeta fan.
So he's but I think in that form, just like with Super Saiyan 3, the eyebrows are gone.
Oh.
So I had this idea of doing Ultra Ego Nappa. And I'm like, oh, I already have the purple hair wax. All I gotta do is just put it through here. Yeah. But then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to feed the trolls. Let me see if it's easy to cover up my eyebrows.
It is. It just takes a while.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to powder, glue stick, foundation, glue stick, and keep layering it until it's smooth. And it takes a bit.
I guess I'll break down and finally start doing makeup. Finally. I mean, the extent of my makeup is doing both versions of Domino.
Right.
I can make myself all one color. But ask me to contour and foundation and all that. I ain't with it. No, ma'am. I'm throwing my. I get that it enhances the look.
Yes.
I get it. I'm not knocking it. I ain't got time. I'm not with it.
So there's no way I'm making you a Klingon anytime soon, right?
Not anytime soon. Okay. Maybe one day.
One day, if I just tie you to a chair and you cannot leave, the forehead piece and then blanket.
For you and Naya, maybe one day I might let you make me a Klingon.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Because I just found out she's a Trekkie. So
yes, you told me. I'm so excited.
So there are times where she's down here watching Star Trek, and I was just okay. You know what? Of all the times I've had you watch stuff with me, I'll come and watch this with you.
That's cool. What are you watching right now with her?
That was it. So let me see. We just finished. Now, when I say we, mainly her, and every once in a while I'm down here catching something with her. So I'm invested to the point where I enjoy it while she's watching it. Yeah. I'm not moved to go back and start from the beginning and catch up to her.
Okay.
That doesn't typically happen.
Are you watching TNG or TOS? What are you watching? Do you know? Who's the captain?
Oh, Picard is the captain. I think it's actually season 1 of that because Riker doesn't have his facial hair. Whoopi Goldberg isn't on there yet.
Are they wearing dresses? Are they wearing like little dresses in the background?
I think there was one. She actually pointed out to me there was somebody. It may not even have been a woman with a really short. No. Skirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
You.
Yeah. That.
Yep. All right. I know what.
It's funny. Awesome. There's one episode that I remember watching at work one day because it was on in the break room. It was that episode where they were trying to get some kind of antidote from this planet, and it basically looked like Africa. And the leader had a crush on I don't remember her name, but it was the girl with the short blonde hair.
Oh, Tasha Yar, yeah.
Yeah, their security officer.
Yeah.
Who I didn't realize was in the episode of Walking Dead a while back.
Yeah.
But
Denise Crosby is a hoot.
Yeah. So the king of, or I guess the leader of that planet, saw the security officer, and he was like, "Oh, I got to have her."
Right.
And it was this really cringe-worthy thing where, like, because
they had the battle, right?
They had the battle, but then there's also that whole tension of, I know you're not going to trip about this, but there's that whole, dang, you're the powerful black guy. Why you got to leave your wife for the white girl? That happened. Okay. So I was just like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
This is the 90s.
Yes. I remember watching that at work in the break room, and it happens to be one of the episodes that comes on while I'm watching it with Naya. I'm like, why do I remember this one? So there's that one. We watched that one episode. They landed on some hedonistic planet where, like, everybody there was like, everybody was wearing like super short, like, no, all the guys were shirtless. All the women wore really short white skirts and tops. Everybody looked perfect, like models. Everybody was blonde. Everybody was making out everywhere. And the only rule was, like, there were no like real laws or anything like that. Like, no.
Flowers, right? You couldn't.
Yeah, that was one of them. But nobody knew the rules, and the only thing was, there was never any crime, because if you broke a rule, you died.
Yes.
So there's that episode. I think the episode where they first encountered, I don't know the name of this race, but they're really short, they're brown, they got big ears, they got sharp teeth, big heads.
Oh, Ferengi. Mm-hmm.
Yes, them. And there was that episode where this super dickhead science officer came on board, and he was being super condescending to everybody. I'm like, can somebody punch him, please? And he accidentally made them go X amount of light years too far in the future.
Oh, yeah.
That episode. And there was another one where Gordy had come in contact with something, and it made him kind of like, I can't describe it really.
Like glow in the dark?
No, he was acting funny is the best way I can say it. But it spread across the whole ship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I'm seeing quite a few episodes.
Yeah, because she'll binge them when she's down here.
Okay.
So we got into that. There's she's a big Schitt's Creek fan, so I've seen a bit of that.
I started getting into it, but again, I don't want to watch it if I'm not paying attention.
Right. So there's that. She likes Brooklyn Nine-Nine too, so I've seen a little bit of that. We both watched back when it was still a big thing, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. We watched that together, but I think we fell off after like the third season.
Okay.
Because it was one of those more of the same type of things.
Yeah.
So like the first season, big shock value and it's hilarious. Second season, it's still funny, but it's more the same. By the third season, you're like, okay, this ain't nothing different.
This is the same stick.
The same shtick. The same shtick. Both.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes.
So I'm working on a ton of stuff, right? But what are you working on? I know, like, you got that one.
Right. That one.
What else? Are you working on anything else?
I'm actually working on So I'm collaborating with Skinny Joe Fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be a green shirt.
What? Are you wearing that sweater in Atlanta?
I don't know. Most likely not.
I think, I was going to say, I think you should not.
At least not in the parade. Ain't finna happen. But what I had to do was I couldn't find anything that I basically was like, hey, I found the pieces, and he was like, okay, put it on the Amazon wish list. I get it for you. I'm basically doing it for him because he wants somebody to do it, and he's also trying to get a little bit of diversity going because where he's at, no diversity. Anybody else there? So I couldn't find the right pants and shirt to match what was on screen. So we settled for some white sweatpants and a white sweatshirt, and I'm going to dye it green.
Okay.
Because even when I did find something close, I couldn't get the right color green.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to hopefully, if this works well, dye it all green. And then the same way that I painted my Tiger Force Roadblock pants, I had to paint the yellow stripes on them.
Okay.
I'm going to paint the green, the dark green camouflage on that. So that. There's so much in my head that I know ain't going to happen this year because money. So you know how, Falcon Winter Soldier, right?
Yep.
So.
You're not, are you?
What? What do you think?
Are you building a Captain America?
Yes. But what a spin on it though? Because so, who is now Captain America was previously Falcon.
Yes.
Right? He's going to be Captain Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
So where it's basically where the costume is blue, it's going to be black.
Okay.
And instead of that star in the center, it's going to be an Atlanta Falcons logo.
That's cute. I like it.
Because I'm like, he used to be Falcon, Atlanta Falcons, Captain Falcon. And my goal is to at least just get it done before we get good again.
Okay.
Because what I don't want to have to check somebody who tries to check me for being a bandwagon fan. Do not come for me. I've been down since the Jerry Glanville days. I've been down since like 91 when Deion Sanders was still there. Don't try me. Don't try me. And I found a way to make a Captain America shield out of EVA foam. Okay. Because them jokers, if you get the good ones, they're like at least 160 and up.
Yeah. There's if you go on Mercari or eBay once in a while, you'll find them for cheaper. But yeah.
And the other thing is, I eventually want to do just a straight up Sam Wilson Captain America too. So I'm like, I got to find a cheap way to have a shield. Either that, or I figured once I have the money for it, get the shield and make the middle part that normally has a star on it.
Yeah.
If I can make something that I can attach to the front of it and
the
just
magnet.
have the Falcon, right? Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Magnets,
like a sticker magnet, and then it just sticks on to the front of the shield, like on that star.
Yeah, it's gotta be able to cover it. Like basically, have that same circle but black with the Falcons logo on it. So that way, whenever I want to be Captain Atlanta, stick it on there. Whenever I don't, pull it off. Now it's Captain America shield again.
Right. I got you. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and I found a guy who he made not Captain America's wings, but his wings from the beginning of the series. He made a set of retractable wings out of cardboard. He basically cut them all up into different pieces, and he has on the backpack, and basically if he pulls like the wire string, it just kind of folds out. There's there's magnets and all this other kind of stuff involved. But I figure if I do it, I'm going to use like what's it called? A foam core board.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured if I try to do cardboard at a con, all it takes is for somebody to spill a drink on that thing and this is done.
Or knock into it, and then the magnet go, and then you're set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we ain't doing that. So
we don't want Myron upset at a con.
We don't. It takes a lot to get me upset. And if you see me upset, you're probably just gonna see me go really quiet. Nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
I'm not that you would like me when I'm angry type. I'm not Bruce Banner. But I'm just angry. Myron is quiet.
So Wes is Bruce Banner. I'm different. I just get savage.
So Joe, before we get out of here, I don't know how long we done gone, but I
don't know. I still haven't told you the rest of my costume, but
oh yes, let's do that. Let's do that.
You want to do that? Okay. I'm working on a Bo-Katan.
Okay. Yes. I see that on your head right now. Like I see it. Yes. As soon as you said it.
Her.
Yeah.
I love her. I'm doing a Lady Jessica from Dune.
Okay.
The gold dress with like all of the chains in her face.
I need to look it up. I want to see Dune. I have not seen it yet, but I
Sir.
When I saw the trailers, I'm like, I want to see this.
Sir. Do you have HBO?
HBO Max, yes. It's out already?
Yeah! That's how we saw it, because we didn't go to the theater.
It's only 10 o'clock? Hey, I might do it tonight. Maybe.
Sir,
maybe.
You need to watch that.
I shall.
Oscar Isaacs is fantastic. I'm doing a take on, so Maggie and I are going on a Star Trek cruise with William. And we are making a Discovery scant. So the new show, Star Trek Discovery. They had like the ones with the panels on the side. You've probably seen it on commercials, but we're making scants. And then I'm doing Wanda, her last, her new hero suit.
Yes.
And I want to do Thena from
Eternals,
because Angelina Jolie is like,
love her,
not her personal life, just for as an actress. Messed up.
How did you like Eternals?
So I liked Eternals in the comics, so I knew what was coming. It's a very beautiful film. I love that they filmed as much on location as possible and not as much CGI and green screen and all that stuff. I felt like there was a couple of elements that they could have worked in better, and it was a little bit, it was not your typical Marvel movie.
It wasn't, yeah.
So I cried when Gilgamesh died. However, I heard he is coming back with Icarus. So, but that Icarus is apparently gone. So I don't think it's
a different Icarus.
Yeah, because they're made, right? There's like
right.
So I think he's not gone into the sun completely. I think that their makeup makes them regenerate, and I think Gilgamesh is one of those that comes back every so often. So, so they're gonna appear again. So we'll see.
Gotcha.
I liked it. It's just a very different film than what we're used to.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I wasn't head over heels about it. I don't hate it the way a lot of people do. I appreciate it for its purpose, because I know it's setting up some things. There's some things I know it's setting up, and there's most likely some things that I don't realize it's setting up. I knew of the Eternals, like I knew they were a thing. I knew roughly what they were about, but was I invested in any of them beforehand? No. I know they have a relationship with the Celestials, obviously. I know there's the whole deviant thing. I know Thanos was the descent. I forget how he's related. I know he's related
to Athena. They're cousins.
Okay. There's that. It's funny. I took my younger brother came with me, and so he's doing media things, like he's got his own sports podcast. He does like photography and videos. I was like, hey, you should come on my channel and do a review with me. And after we left, I looked at him. I was like, yeah, don't worry about that review. He's like, yeah, I'm not. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't like it enough to want to sit down and say anything about it. And
yeah. It wasn't the worst Marvel film.
It wasn't, no. It was slow. Like it was slower than what we were used to, but it wasn't like, it didn't bore me. I wasn't falling asleep.
I took it like as remember how Age of Ultron was that like things happened but then didn't happen, and then like it was just like that in between like something movie.
Yeah.
That's how this was, except it was an origins and setup movie.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, it was also one of the longest running Marvel movies. So I was like, maybe they should have either had a TV show to introduce each one, because you couldn't become invested in all these characters in one movie.
Yeah.
And some of them die, and so you're like, you don't even know them yet. So like, the flashbacks are cool, and if anybody else were reading the comics knew all of that history, but the average fan who's been going to Marvel films for so long doesn't know all these people, isn't invested in them. So like, to introduce them, and there's like these battles, and then like now present day, and now some of them die. You just met them. Like, you're still not invested. So I think they should have done either a TV, like introduce them in like a 4-part episode thing, episodic film, like what they do for like WandaVision, right? Like do something like that, and then have the movie. Because then you were invested. You've had 4 hours with them. You know what they're about.
Yeah. There's a video that I watched on that recently, and it made the comparison of, this is kind of like what would have happened if we just got the Avengers right off the bat without having a couple of Iron Man movies, Captain America, Thor, Hulk having his own movie, Black Widow showing up in the second Iron Man, Hawkeye showing up in the Thor movie. We already know who these people are. Right. So that same thing that happened with Eternals would have happened had we just got Avengers right off the bat. The people who know already would be fine. The new people wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah. I was telling I think I talked about this with Alex when I interviewed him. I was kind of underwhelmed by some of the characters as far as like their powers. Mm-hmm. Like, I forget the guy's name, but the guy who he kind of went off to do Bollywood for a little bit. Oh, just his little finger pews. Like, that's it. I love Gilgamesh, but I was kind of underwhelmed by, like, I guess I was expecting more of him as a fighter. Like, I just kept seeing he's going to throw a haymaker here, and now he's going to throw one big punch here. I was going to throw one big punch here. I'm sitting here like, I think Luke Cage could take you. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he couldn't, but like, just seeing him fight, I was just like, nobody really blew me away as far as what they could do, basically. Right. So that was like, I would have done an arc where it's the introduction of, like, you introduce them, but each episode is a little bit about focusing on one of them. Right. Like, Hephaestus is an amazing character in the comics. Like, I love that they like got the actor did an amazing job. I liked Cersei because she is the one that loves humanity the most. But like, you didn't understand why Sprite was the way she was. Like, you didn't understand. Like, you're just seeing a child. You understand that she is as old as them, but looks like a child. But you don't see like the suffering she went through. So you don't even understand why she like leaves her friends to go with Icarus. Yeah, you get a hint of it at the end. Yeah, but like, it's one of those 5 minutes. Like, that's not going to explain things to you. We've been told instead of being shown. Right. Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, even if they did like a 10-parter or an 8-parter or something, you would have understood where all of these characters have been and come from, and like why Thena didn't want to get rid of her memories, why Gilgamesh and her are so close, and why he decided to give up the warrior life to protect her. Like, you would have gotten all of that, but you just got thrown in a bunch of like flashbacks, snippets of their lives, and then now present day. Here we go.
Right. Yeah, because the only people I care to see more of is, and it's for reasons not even to do with the movie, like Makari, is that her name?
Yeah.
I really just
cool.
Yeah, she's cool. I really only care about her because I saw her because she's also from The Walking Dead.
Yep. Okay.
So I was just like, oh, I want to see more of her. And then of course, Fastos, if I get his name right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just the representation aspect of that, I'm like, I want to see the gay.
I love that he was a father.
Yeah.
I love that he's gay. I love that he was a Muslim. Like, his partner was Muslim.
Yeah.
I like, that's real life. People, there are gay families.
Right.
And there are mixed ethnicities with an adopted child. Like, why not?
Right. Like, I want to see more of them just because I want to see them succeed. Other than that, I don't particularly care if I don't see them again. Now I do. I knew enough about Black Knight to catch that mid-credit scene. Wait, was it the mid-credit or the end? That was the end credit scene, right? Because the one with,
and you heard what's his name's voice, right?
I believe it's supposed to be Blade's voice, right?
Yeah, you know who's gonna be Blade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mahershala, yes.
But.
So that, and I just recently found out about Black Knight because I've been going back and reading a whole bunch of old X-Men comics. So there was this one crossover with the Avengers where they all had to fight, I think, Exodus, and Black Knight was one of the Avengers at the time.
Yeah.
And then there's
he becomes like a leader of the Avengers at one point. Apparently.
I think so. Yeah. And then there's, I don't know if it's the same Black Knight because isn't it different people for the same title over time?
It's the family itself. So his dad was the one that got corrupt by the sword, and he's the one who it doesn't become corrupt.
Gotcha. So not last year, but the year before, I like just a couple of months into COVID, I think. It feels weird talking about it like that. I was watching I found on YouTube that short Black Panther series that was on BET.
Oh, and okay.
Black Knight, or at least some version of him, is one of the villains. I mean, he's not the main villain, but he's working for Claw.
Oh, okay.
So I know of him from that, Black Knight and Ebony Blade there. So that was enough to where I knew what was going on in that post-credit scene. So that, and then we got the elephant in the room. Like, I feel like Camilo and Encanto. Like, so are we gonna talk about that celestial that's just sitting there in the ocean?
It's become now a mountain thing.
Right. I'm like, didn't it displace a whole bunch of stuff? Like, shouldn't the Earth be in peril right now?
Oceans, like tsunamis.
Yeah, because that doesn't come up out the water without anything damaging. But yes, a tsunami had to have happened somewhere. There's ocean life dead. Like it's tall enough to go through the clouds, and if you're above the clouds, you see its head. Like, what we gonna do about this?
Did it go that tall?
I think that same video that maybe not the same video, but somebody made a video about so is the Earth in danger? And they basically kind of extrapolated how tall it must be, how far deep into the Earth it must be, all of that. So it made a good point. It's just like, so we're gonna ignore this thing?
Start thinking.
But yeah. And I guess it also, now that we see what a celestial looks like, it makes it obvious that, Galactus could be coming. Before. Right. Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah, you've seen that. Ego is a celestial as well.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. I should have phrased that better. Now that we've seen the full scope of how one looks in scale with the Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's like, now that we've seen one of those in comparison to the Earth, now we know. Not now we know, more like now it makes it feasible that Galactus could be coming, not because of them, but Galactus would be that size. Yeah. So it's like, okay, this is kind of prepping us for that.
For that, yeah. I'd love for Galactus to show up.
And not be a freaking cloud of dust. Like it. Yeah, listen, let's not talk about that. Yeah.
It's fine.
I mean, I was never a huge Fantastic Four fan, but I knew enough to know that they didn't do Galactus right.
No.
Horrible.
Big cloud.
So, Joe, your boy's hungry. I just realized, like, my stomach was like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me?
Are you not eating dinner?
I had not. Like, I get off at 8.
Oh, okay.
So this was that time was the best thing I could do and not have it last too late, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess sometimes I do 9 o'clock, sometimes I do 9:30, but
okay, just pushing it
a little bit.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to promote? Any shout outs? Anything you got to get off your chest? I think you already did.
We can do that after the call.
Yeah.
You could probably so you can find me on Joe Colton Cosplay on Instagram, J Colton Cosplay on Twitter. I am on TikTok as Joe Colton Cosplay. I'm trying to be better about TikTok.
Same, I got like 2 on there. That's it.
It's like a full-time job, like
right?
Give me a break. And then like Facebook as Joe Colton Cosplay. Yeah. And now Maggie and I are trying to do Star Trek Girls. Yeah, so we started our first one with the wine tasting from Star Trek wines, which are very good wines. So if your wife wants one, you should. They come in packs of 2s, but that's a great gift.
I sent them to her. I texted them to her. She must have just not. I'm hoping that it was just she just kind of got lost in the shuffle. I'm like, girl, you like wine, you like Star Wars. Why did this not evoke more of a thing? Which ones are the sweet ones, if there are any? Because that's more my flavor.
More her sweet. The one in the blue bottle.
Okay.
That's that's a Chardonnay, so it's a lighter, fresher, buttery wine. I thought it was good. Maggie thought it was more interesting, but it's sweeter.
Yeah, Naya tends to like the ones that I would consider bitter.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's more her thing. So I'm like, if you want me to finish it, I need the sweet kind. Otherwise, don't pour me a lot because I don't want to waste your wine.
Wes was not a wine person before me, but
now he is. You have corrupted him. Joe, thank you.
Thank you for having me back.
No problem. And we will see each other in freaking person this summer. As long as COVID don't do something crazy and decide to like show its collective behind again, it will be a thing. I will be there. Yes. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us and just hearing us ramble. Like, this is what's going to happen with these Boomerang episodes. I normally don't. When I come into my interviews with certain topics I want to talk about, but I typically don't have a list of questions because I don't want it to sound like an interrogation. I want it to just flow like a conversation. It's the name, right? But when I do these boomerangs, I'm coming with no plans, no script, no plans, no nothing.
We're just
gonna start talking, and it's gonna go where it goes. It's gonna end up where it end up. So that's how, for those of y'all who've been along with me, that's how Boomerang is gonna go. Got no plans. Winging it. I usually wing it. I'm really winging it with these. But that's it, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good time in whatever con you go to next. Please be safe. Be safe out there. Good luck on your cosplay builds. Good luck on your costume builds. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button. Please leave some comments. Hit that notification bell. I think I covered everything now. I wasn't YouTubing properly before. I wasn't mentioning all of that. Y'all go follow Joe at everything she does, everywhere she is. And I will see y'all at the next video. Peace.